The drama surrounding Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis has taken another explosive turn, pushing the boxing world into complete disarray. What was once set to be one of the biggest crossover events of the year has now turned into a scandal of lawsuits, accusations, and shattered expectations. Just as Jake Paul's highly anticipated Netflix showdown with Davis was nearing its promotional peak, shocking allegations surfaced that sent the entire fight spiraling into uncertainty. Davis, already no stranger to controversy, once again finds himself accused of serious misconduct. And this time, the consequences may destroy everything he's built. The match, initially scheduled for November 14th, was meant to be a spectacle. A collision between a YouTube phenomenon turned prizefighter and one of boxing's most dangerous knockout artists. But that dream evaporated almost overnight. Court documents revealed that Davis's ex-girlfriend, Courtney Russell, had filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and emotional abuse following a violent altercation in a Miami nightclub. Witnesses described a scene of chaos, claiming Davis dragged her through multiple parts of the venue before security intervened. As the story broke, Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions immediately hit pause, refusing to move forward with the event until the investigation was complete. The fight that had captured the world's attention was suddenly hanging by a thread. Jake Paul's team scrambled to control the damage. Behind closed doors, executives began reaching out to a list of high-profile fighters who could possibly replace Davis if the bout fell through. The names that surfaced read like a wish list of modern combat sports icons: Ryan Garcia, Terrence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, and Nate Diaz. Yet each possibility came with complications. Crawford, the reigning welterweight king, seemed unlikely to risk his legacy in a sideshow bout. Ngannou was too big and had his own schedule locked in. Ryan Garcia, though flashy and marketable, was far too small to face Paul. And as for Nate Diaz, that fight had already happened, and it didn't deliver the fireworks fans had hoped for. In the middle of all this chaos, Floyd Mayweather stepped back into the spotlight. The retired legend, known for his flawless record and unmatched confidence, stunned fans by publicly calling out Jake Paul. He claimed that unlike his exhibition against Logan Paul years earlier, this time it would be a real fight, a sanctioned professional bout under legitimate rules. Mayweather declared that he wouldn't move up in weight and that if Jake truly wanted to prove himself a real boxer, this was his moment. For a man who once ruled the sport with absolute control, it felt like a power move, a reminder that in boxing, no controversy or new star can ever eclipse Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Mayweather's comments reignited debate over Jake Paul's legitimacy as a boxer. Critics have long accused Paul of cherry-picking opponents, aging MMA fighters, smaller athletes, and personalities far removed from boxing's elite ranks. Floyd himself echoed that sentiment, acknowledging that Jake is entertaining and a clever marketer, but warning that the illusion would crumble the moment he faced a true fighter. He even laughed off Jake's long-stated dream of one day fighting Canelo Alvarez, suggesting it would be a mismatch so brutal that Paul wouldn't make it out of the second round. But there's another layer to Floyd's reappearance, one that speaks less to competition and more to control. Analysts believe Mayweather's sudden challenge isn't just about Jake Paul. It's about reclaiming the spotlight. With Davis, his former protege, embroiled in scandal, and Jake dominating the headlines, Floyd seemed determined to remind the world that he is still boxing's biggest attraction. Some reports suggest that he's also eyeing a potential exhibition with Mike Tyson, another megafight that could easily overshadow the Jake Tank saga. For Mayweather, whose post-retirement exhibitions have kept him in the public eye, this is more than a comeback. It's a strategic move to remain the face of a sport that refuses to let go of him. Meanwhile, voices from the boxing community have not been kind to Jake Paul's cancelled fight. Veteran champions like Carl Froch and Amir Khan blasted the matchup long before the allegations surfaced, calling it a joke, a circus act, and a dangerous mismatch. Froch pointed out the enormous weight difference, arguing that putting a 135-pound fighter like Gervonta Davis against a 200-pound cruiserweight like Jake Paul made a mockery of the sport. Khan echoed the sentiment, describing it as torture, and accusing promoters of valuing spectacle over safety. For boxing purists, the fight represented everything wrong with the influencer era, the blurring of competition and entertainment. Still, others have questioned whether the cancellation was necessary at all. They argue that Davis's legal troubles, while serious, have not been proven in court and that the decision to cancel was more about image management than justice. They point out that other athletes have competed while facing active investigations, and wonder whether Netflix and Jake Paul's team simply wanted to avoid backlash. To them, This is less about morality and more about the optics of a billion-dollar streaming platform avoiding a PR nightmare. Yet no matter how you look at it, the damage has been done. The once electric anticipation surrounding the fight has fizzled into uncertainty. Even if the bout is rescheduled, it will carry the stain of scandal, transforming what was supposed to be entertainment into a moral debate about accountability and celebrity privilege. And as the story continues to unfold, Jake Paul remains silent, a silence that only fuels speculation about his next move. Behind the glitz and showmanship, this entire situation highlights something deeper: the ongoing identity crisis in modern boxing. The line between competition and spectacle is thinner than ever. Social media stars have replaced seasoned contenders in main events, and pay-per-view numbers now often depend more on controversy than craft. Floyd Mayweather once turned this model into an empire, but even he seems trapped by it now, constantly chasing new ways to stay relevant. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has mastered the same playbook, stirring outrage, manipulating headlines, and transforming mockery into marketing. In this new era, fights aren't just about skill, they're about storyline. And in that sense, the drama surrounding Tank Davis, Jake Paul, and Floyd Mayweather is the perfect storm. Scandal, fame, and ego colliding in front of millions. Whether or not the November 14th event actually happens may no longer even matter. The spectacle has already done its job. It's captured the world's attention, reignited old rivalries, and blurred the lines between sport and showbiz once again. But as the cameras fade and the headlines cool, one question remains: where does boxing go from here? Does the sport double down on its new entertainment-first model? Or will this fiasco push promoters and fans to demand authenticity again? In the end, perhaps this entire saga, from Tank's downfall to Floyd's resurgence, is a reflection of boxing's eternal paradox. The fight outside the ring is always louder than the one inside it. So, what do you think? Should Floyd Mayweather really step in to fight Jake Paul now? Or should the promoters wait until Tank Davis clears his legal issues? Was canceling the fight the right call? Or should Netflix and Jake Paul have let it go on despite the controversy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the drama, the legends, and the chaos that keeps the fight game alive.